This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Carter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, November the 3rd, in 1995, a new era was born in the NBA. Not just one Canadian team, but two Canadian teams started their long journeys. But as the Vancouver Grizzlies are basically forgettable, they only lasted 6 years in Vancouver. They didn't have a winning season in Vancouver. The fans supported them, but basically they couldn't get good players to come to Vancouver for any good reason. Steve Francis obviously was drafted by the Grizzlies, but then he forced a trade to Houston. I guess Vancouver didn't really like him. The city didn't like him. So, yeah, Vancouver moved to Memphis and they've become decent ever since. So, we got to focus on the other Canadian team, the most successful Canadian team, the more successful Canadian team. Winning a championship, making a playoff was good enough. Anyway, so the 95-96 season, the Raptors started their first game against the New Jersey Nets. That's why this is the first game. And all that. The Raptors were not the first major basketball team to come to Toronto. The 1947 Toronto Huskies, playing in the BAA, or the Basketball Association of America, before it merged with the NBL to become the NBA in 1949. Isaiah Thomas was the GM. The Raptors, their logo was funny, but it played on the success of Jurassic Park. They got like pinstripe uniforms with the logo on the front of the jerseys with the purple and red to the color scheme, and the dinosaur playing basketball. The Raptors had a good expansion draft. They got Oliver Miller, Willie Anderson, Tony Massenberg, Ed Pickney, Son Tabak, A.C. Earl, and John Sally from it. They would have had B.J. Armstrong, who was a decent three-point shooter from the Bulls, but he refused to play, and then the Raptors traded him to Golden State for Carlos Rogers. The team would sign a couple of big free agents, Tracy Murray, who was a good three-pointer, and Alvin Robertson, a former All-Star guard, and Razorback. The Raptors got the 7th pick in the 95 NBA draft, and the fans wanted Ed O'Bannon, who helped UCLA win the 1995 national championship. But alas, they didn't. They went with Damon Stoudemire from the University of Arizona, good point guard. The fans booed that pick mercilessly. The joke was on the Raptor fans, as Damon Stoudemire put up a Rookie of the Year season, and and O'Bannon was picked by the New Jersey Nets with the next pick, and he was a bust with a capital B. So the Raptors started on November 3rd, 1995 in the NBA, and would play the New Jersey Nets at the Sky Dome because Toronto didn't have an adequate basketball stadium. They did kind of play at Maple Leaf Gardens for a few times. So, yeah. I love that. So they had a decent expansion draft, but B.J. Armstrong refused to play, so he was traded to Golden State. They had some good players. They drafted guy Damon Stoudemire. They also got Jimmy King, who was part of the Fab Five in Michigan with Weber and them. So, yeah, the Raptors had a decent roster and all that. The funny thing was that 3 potential Raptors were hurt due to injuries. Victor Alexander, the guy traded from Golden State to Toronto for B.J. Armstrong, missed the entire season due to an ankle injury. Keith Jennings, who was a star for, I think it was East Tennessee State that one time in the NCAAs, he missed the entire season due to injury. And B.J. Tyler missed the season due to nerve damage. So the Raptors would play their first ever game against the Nets in front of 33,000 at the Sky Dome. Obviously, the Sky Dome was built for the Blue Jays, and it wasn't really a basketball stadium. Alvin Robertson was the hero of that one, hitting a three-pointer to give Toronto the lead. Robertson would put up 30 points, and Damon Stoudemire had a double-double as they took care of the Nets 94-79. It was amazing. However, the Raptors would only win 21 games in their career, in their inaugural season. But they did beat the Vancouver Grizzlies. I mean, the Grizzlies didn't have that many wins. Did Vancouver ever had more wins than the Raptors? I think they did, I believe, one year. It was amazing for all that. David Stoudemire won the Rookie of the Year. I mean, yeah, the Raptors the Raptors weren't even the worst team in the Eastern Conference. That were the Sixers. So the Sixers got the one pick. Toronto got number 2. So that's not bad. So yeah, they tried their best and all that. They had some key players. Willie Anderson played 49 games for them. Doug Christie coming over in a trade from the Knicks late in the 95-96 season. A.C. Earl, Vincenzo Esposito, Jimmy King playing for the Raptors. Nice. Tony Massenberg also came over in a late season trade. He was good. Oliver Miller, sweet, for the University of Arkansas. Tracy Murray, the only Raptor to play in each game of the series. David Stoudemire only played 70 games, which was weird. Ed Pinckney played 47. Pinckney part of the 1985 Villanova squad that shocked the world by winning the national title. Alvin Robertson played 77 games. Carlos Rogers played only 56. John Sally played 25 before he went out, and then he went to the Bulls and played for the 95-96 Bulls squad. The 17-10 squad. David Stoudemire played 70 games. Jean Tabak played 67. Sharon Wright played a few. So, yeah. It was a couple of key trades. Oh, yeah, the Raptors, I guess, gave up Massenberg and Pinckney, traded him to traded them to Philadelphia for Sharon Wright. Okay. It is what it is. So, good. Oh, yeah, they had Jerome Kersey, but he went to Golden State, too. What's about Golden State? But, of course, every Raptor fan will remember the greatest game in their inaugural season history. And it was not the opening day game. It was the game in March 1996. I think I did. Did I do a on this day about this game or not? I can't remember if I did it on this day. I have to look at my notes because obviously it's like every month. I don't think I did. Or did I? No, I didn't. Darn it. I didn't do the one about the Raptors Bulls, that famous 1996 game. But anyway, it was shocking. The Raptors took care of the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls lost to an expansion team in Toronto in front of like 30,000 fans at the Sky Dome and probably in front of like 5 to 6 million Canadians on CTV. I remember watching that game on TV, and I was about to turn 11 years old. But man, it was magical. See the Raptors take out the subsequent greatest team of all time. So that was interesting. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.